The Family Proclamation can be really hard for many families, even to talk about. As I've been studying the Come Follow Me for the last couple of weeks, I found some really interesting information. 2 weeks ago, reading 137 and 138, I realized they're both revelations that come to prophets who experience extreme discomfort from current understanding in theology. Joseph Smith's family was devastated when a Methodist preacher implied that their brother Alvin would be in hell because he wasn't baptized before he died. His brother William told reporters his father did not like that. When my mom read the Family Proclamation for the first time, she said, "This doesn't fit my family." I feel the same. But what do we do if we disagree with something said, or if it doesn't fit our family, or if it's really harmful to our family? Joseph's sadness for his brother's fate was the driving force for many of his questions and revelations. At a funeral for his bodyguard, Joseph discussed the doctrine of baptism by proxy that he was learning, but he'd never done any. A widow named Jane Lyman in the audience became the first when she literally talked her bishop into baptizing her on behalf of her son, Cyrus. The bishop made up the prayer, and a woman witnessed it from a horseback. Later, when Joseph heard about the baptism, he declared it good. In 1918, death was all around. World War I was still on, and we were right in the middle of the Spanish flu that killed 50 million people worldwide. October 1918 was the deadliest month in the history of the United States. Joseph F. Smith, the president, lost his father Hiram and then his mother when he was just a boy. His first child, Mercy Josephine, died at the age of 2, devastating him. And his beloved oldest son died at the beginning of 1918, leaving him with what he called an overwhelming burden of grief. Between his daughter and his son's deaths, President Smith buried a wife and 11 other children. With all his losses, he wondered deeply about what happens after this life. 2 days before General Conference, with all this heavy on his heart, contemplating the atonement and the deep love of the Savior, he spoke briefly at conference saying, "I've had communications with the Spirit of the Lord continuously." And then he shared what ultimately became Section 138. He died 2 months later. James 1, verses 2 through 6 say, "Count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith works patience. But let patience have her perfect work, that you may be perfect and wanting nothing. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God that giveth to all men liberally, and shall upbraideth not, and it shall be given." We got all this new information from 2 prophets and a mother. And now we understand things totally different. There's a lot more in part 2, so check it out.